Hi, my fellow ruminators. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another rumination session with Andrew. Thank you for joining once more. Now, I came across an article today in the Jamaica Gleaner, and I think it might have been published yesterday, but it was on the Jamaica Gleaner's website, and I thought I would share that article with you in light of the accusations that were made in that article. So let me quickly pull up the piece and see if we can share it here. Now, this is on the Jamaica Gleaner, the Gleaner website. And the title of the article is Haiti listed as one of the most dangerous countries in the world. Now, I thought that that was an interesting title for an article, particularly coming from Jamaica, which perhaps is, if not the most dangerous country in the world, the most dangerous in the region. That's the Caribbean region. So I thought it was very interesting that Kingston would be, through the Gleaner, would be publishing this article. Because if I were Jamaica, I perhaps would not publish this piece, even if it were coming from the international source, because I do not think that we have that sort of right to do so in light of what is happening in Jamaica. But the editor decides they're simply citing, I think it's coming from Port-au-Prince and Haiti, and they're just reporting it. But there is no context given in terms of why is Haiti being considered as one of the most dangerous countries in the world. What is the context? That has not been given in this sort of in this article. Now, it says that Haiti has been listed among the 34th most dangerous countries in the world, according to the 2023 Global Peace Index. And the GPI is published by the Institute for Economics and Peace, which evaluates the safety of countries each year. This year, Haiti recorded the second largest deterioration of peacefulness, dropping 17 places to 129th out of 163 countries. This is the lowest ranking that Haiti has had on the index since its inception in 2008. Haiti recorded significant deteriorations in all three GPI domains, with the largest occurring in the safety and security domain. Now, when I saw this article, I was a sort of bit, astonished, because I was saying, Jamaica is regarded as perhaps the most dangerous country in the region, and it claims that it's not going through a civil war. I would argue that Jamaica is going through a civil war, and since the 1970s, when Michael Manley was in office, and the whole matter of the decision whether it would go democratic socialism or capitalism, that was the height of the Cold War, and the CIA using that country as a playground. Since that time, we have not yet come out of that civil war. We are warring about against ourselves, right? And it really, really is very, very surprising and amazes me sometimes, the fact that many of our intellectuals, or Jamaican intellectuals, are not speaking about a civil war, the ongoing civil war that is happening in Jamaica. And that is why we are considered, and have been considered for many years now, as one of the most dangerous countries in terms of homicide rate and other forms of criminal activities. But I shall also share with you some other facts in terms of the Caribbean region. Let's look at CNN before we go into other statistics. This is coming from the CNN website, and this is published, April 26, 2023. So not very long. It was a fairly recent article. Now, so we have Haiti's crime rate has more than doubled since last year, as the Caribbean island nation faces widespread insecurity and gang violence, new data has revealed. And for those of you who are not aware, Haiti has not had a functional president since 2020, when their president was killed. I think it was 2020, if I'm not correct. 2020, 2021. I think it was 2020 he was murdered, or perhaps it could have been 2021. But he was murdered some years ago, and since that time, Haiti has been suffering, lots of instability. Now, more than 1,600 incidents, including homicide, rape, kidnapping, and lynchings, were reported in the first quarter of 2023, up from 692 during the same period last year, according to data collected by the Haitian National Police and the UN. So they're saying here that Haiti has seen an uptick in violent crimes, right? And we have here, last year it seemed that they had 692. Now, when you think about Haiti's population, I think they have a population of almost 11 million people there. I don't think this is high in comparison to, let's say, a country of Jamaica that has a population of 2.7 million people, right? And for years now have been having homicide rates, of more than 1,200 or more, right? Sometimes it goes as far as 1,700. So I think that we would be considered, given our population size, to be much more violent than Haiti is. So why this article, and why now? Why is it that the powers that be, right, would be now emphasizing the fact that Haiti is considered to be one of the most dangerous places? Why is it? What has caused that violence? We need to hear from the Haitian authorities, and we need to hear from the Haitian people to see, because every time we hear the United Nations or the United States speak, we hear that they want to spread democracy in Haiti. Now, what we do hope is that they are engaging the people, the ordinary man, to see what is causing that violence. And is the violence only coming from Haitian sources, or do we have foreign involvement, or foreigners also, instigating, promoting the gangs down there and the wars? Because I'm sure that it's not only from one side. Oftentimes we think that these gangs are just, people who are uneducated, unsophisticated, and they're coming from the lower socio-economic class. But you'd be surprised, a lot of times violence also comes from the upper elites, from the upper echelons of society. And I was listening to a program, I think was last Friday, and Professor Hudson, I think it's Michael Hudson, right? Michael Hudson, he is, I think, Professor Emeritus at the University of Kansas, right? And he was talking about the fact that a lot of times we think that the economy, the mainstream side of the economy represents the productivity where people produce, but he's suggesting in that interview, and I believe 100% what he says, that crime is a major part of Western economies, right? And perhaps economies of the world. We tend not to want to think about it and to talk about it, but when you think about criminality, it comes from the upper echelon, and it's a top-down situation, right? The fact of the matter is that, generally speaking, you normally see the lower guy, the one on the streets, the man, on the ordinary man. He's the one who normally faces the brunt of the punishment, right, or the castigation for what might have been the proceeds of crime. But when you look at the United States economy and the economies of Western Europe, you read the history and you see the dealings behind the scenes, you realize that a lot more crime and criminal activities have been a part of the economy, right? And a lot of what we see on Wall Street and all these very fancy places, you'd be surprised, what's the illicit activities in which these guys are engaged. But that is not the, one of the reasons I brought that up, because so often we hear that one of the reasons why the homicide rate is high in places like Jamaica is because of the socioeconomic inequities, right? Yes, indeed, because of the socioeconomic inequities, but is that being solved? And what are our politicians doing to solve that problem? Every day you read the news coming from Jamaica, for example, and Haiti also, you see more corruption, more corruption. And if I can add, I think that Jamaica and Haiti, the elite classes that live in these two countries, I think they look upon their populace, the ordinary man on the street, to be, I think they find them repulsive. I do think so. I don't think that the Jamaican upper elites and the Haitian upper elites want a population that has equal rights and equal economic justice. I do not think so. I think that there's a lot of talk, but I don't see what is being done to solve the problem. And, they make all these fancy talks. Even recently, when you had that conference in Kingston, in which they were trying to see what they would do to help Haiti to move towards democracy, I saw a lot of people there standing up and they're making these fancy speeches, including the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Bruce Golding, and I did not find anything of substance that they were saying. It was just, that we are here to assist Haiti to move towards democracy, but how, where, and how are you going to achieve that, given the historic exploitation? And I'm not only talking about the revolution and what happened after the revolution, the Haitian Revolution. I'm speaking about in recent history, and the fact that the people there, on the ordinary man on the ground, he is not involved in this process of democracy. But we like to use nice sounding words that will captivate the attention of people and to deceive them. But we know that this is all deception. But Haiti, by no means, we understand that, yes, it's dangerous now because of what is happening. But if this civil war, what is happening there, the instability, the political and economic instability that we see, happening in Haiti right now, had it not been for that, right? And I don't think that the country would indeed be a dangerous place to live. I do not think so at all. If you look at this also murder rate by country, and I think this might have been, was it 2017 onwards? Yeah, and we see here Jamaica heading the list, right? So we have Jamaica 52.13 per 100,000, South Africa 41.87 per 100,000, St. Lucia 38.96 per 100,000, Honduras 38.25 per 100,000, Belize 31.25 per 100,000, and the list goes on. We have Trinidad and Tobago 29.36. So, and we see Haiti is they're number 21, right? 13.01 per 100,000. So while Jamaica is at 50, over 50, 52.13 per 100,000, Haiti is just at 13, right? 13.01 per 100,000. So which country would you deem to be the most dangerous country, or one of the most dangerous countries in the world? I think I would say the former. Jamaica certainly would head that list over Haiti. So I think, I think the Gleaner needs to do more research where that is concerned. Let's look at this too. Oh, wow. Think I could have here. No, I think this is a paid site. So let me see if I can go back here. I beg your pardon. Wow, it's not coming. You need, okay. All right. So they're looking at I'm not going to be able to use this site, it seems, because I would have to be a paid site. I was, before I had it on my screen. I'm not sure why it's not, but it's still showing us. It says the ranking of the most dangerous countries in the world in 2023 by murder rate per 100,000 inhabitants. And Jamaica was also heading the list among those countries, right? Haiti definitely wasn't heading that list. Here is also another statistics based on violent crimes. Let me see if I could look at the Latin America and the Caribbean. All right, let me see if this is the same. Again, we see, look at Jamaica. All right, and this is in 2022, so this was last year, and it still seems to be that Jamaica is leading the, if not the top, might be number 2. So we have Jamaica, and that is 52.9, and this was in 2022, right? Venezuela, then we followed by Trinidad and Tobago. So we'd say categorically that Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago are the most dangerous countries in the region. That's in the Caribbean region. Then we have Honduras, Colombia, Ecuador, let me get to Mexico, which is 25.9, Belize, 25.2, Brazil, which is 18. Amazing that Brazil is lower than Jamaica. Puerto Rico, 17.4, Guatemala, and so forth and so on. Let me see if I could get expand. Let me see if I could expand here. Chile. I'm not seeing Haiti. I just wanted to look at Haiti's crime rate or homicide rate. Let me see if I could pull that up. Doesn't seem so. So that was very interesting. So the Gleaner needs to do better research than that and look at what the murder rate in Jamaica before it begins to say that Haiti is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. I think that it should ensure that it gives context, right, as to why Haiti is definitely considered to be the most dangerous, one of the most dangerous countries in the world. Certainly, it is dangerous now because of what is happening. And any country that is going through what we might call a civil war, in which the government doesn't function, they don't have a functioning government. Because even though you have Henri there, he's not democratically elected. So the people, for the most part, do not see him as a legitimate form of government. So they are requesting that an election be had soon so that they can elect the president that they want. It doesn't seem, though, that the elites, the Haitian elites and their foreign aiders and abettors, I don't think that they would like to see the Haitian people electing their own president democratically, right? So this is just something very, very sad. And it is time now that we begin to speak about, the elites in our countries, in Jamaica, for example, and in Haiti, and to see how these elites control the entire economy and the whole system of exploitation that we see in these two nations, right? Now, it is very interesting to note also that these two nations have been two of the most revolutionary nations in the region, right? And I would argue that, the most important black guy, if you will, for the 19th century was Toussaint Louverture. And the 20th century is arguably the most important black man in the 20th century would be Marcus Mosiah Garvey, coming out of Jamaica, right? So here we talk about the Maroons and the impact the Maroons had in freeing themselves from British colonialism and enslavement, right? But these two nations are still struggling to elevate the standard of living for their people, right? And Jamaica has been going through has been having problems with homicide. from ever since I knew the country, right? There's not a year when you can say that the country has been peaceful. And I think we have reached to the point right now where people are traumatized. The people are suffering from trauma, from severe trauma, right? And I remember during the pandemic, the Andrew Holness-led administration was so very enthusiastic in protecting the people from a virus that perhaps would not even have injured many people down there. But he's not able to cauterize, to put a dent in the crime rate, right? And the Gleaner has the audacity to be saying that Haiti is considered one of the most dangerous countries in the world. If I were the editor of the newspaper of the Gleaner, I would not put that in my newspaper because I know that that is not necessarily true, right? It is having a dangerous time now because of what is happening, and what is happening in Haiti can be solved again, right? If the Haitian elites and the foreign elites, either coming from the core group, the United States, if they were willing to assist the people, to listen to the people, right? I think that a solution could be arrived at. Okay. So Mr. Gleaner, I am not sure, I'm not sure I agree with you in terms of Haiti being one of the most dangerous and this sort of propaganda that the newspaper is spreading, this sort of disinformation that the newspaper is spreading to the world. I would say that we need as a country, Jamaica needs as a country, to take the beam out of its own eyes, right? I don't think that they need to be highlighting problems like homicide rate in other countries. I think we need to, and I'm calling on the university intellectuals, particularly at the University of the West Indies. What is the purpose of having a university if you're not hearing anything of solution, any substantive solutions to solve the crime problem in Jamaica? Not to mention our economic problems. I mean, everything down there is just like I'm not sure if they're not thinking there at the University of the West Indies and the other universities down there. I am not sure what is happening down there, but I think that there is a disconnect between the so-called intellectuals and the ordinary people in Jamaica, and our politicians and our financial elites. There is a disconnect, right? Because if there was not any disconnect, I think that they would be coming together to see how they can put a dent in criminal activities. But perhaps, as the advertisement says in Jamaica, crime pays. And it doesn't only pay for the man on the streets coming from the lower stratum of society. It pays for the individual, and the individuals, these elites, who also hail from the upper echelon of our society. And these are things that we've got to think about, that we've got to discuss, because we're throwing them under the rug, and the crime and violence keeps on rising, keeps on augmenting. And all you hear from the government is that we're doing the best we can do, right? But during the pandemic, you were you noticed those who were not in their homes. You policed them. You controlled them, right? They could not go to the corner shop to buy something, some basic things, so that they could feed themselves and their families. They would be easily apprehended by the police. Now, why can't the same police and authorities apprehend the criminals? Why isn't it that easy to do so? All right. Now, Jamaica also needs to look at, as I'm on the topic, because I'm going to end very shortly, is there a link between the lockdowns that happened 4 years ago and the rise in some horrible criminal activities that I'm seeing down there? At least I'm reading from newspapers. Horrible, horrific, right? Criminal homicide activities. Is there a link? Is there a correlation? Right? I think we have to talk about these things. These things cannot just be swept under the rug. And Jamaica likes to do that. And then we look outside and we talk about other people's problems, and we do not even know the problems that we are facing. And if we do know them, we do not have any willpower to solve that. Right? When are we talking about, for example, reparations? And our local politicians and the business class in Jamaica, the financial elites, do not even care about their own people. Right? There is too wide a gap between the rich and the poor in these two islands, Jamaica and Haiti. We've got to reflect, and we've got to internalize. We've got to have an introspective look at ourselves and stop looking at these colonial powers. Yes, they did exploit, and I am not in any way trying to defend their interests. I'm not. But I'm suggesting too that we have to also clean up some of the mess that we ourselves have created. Because and let me just say this to Jamaicans and to Haitians and to all these people living in the Caribbean region. This thing about climate change and the getting reparations, those are closely linked together. And should our politicians receive billions of dollars tomorrow from these so-called centers, it's not going to be used to build up the ordinary man. Right? It's going to be used to do whatever the elites want the money to do. So we've got to be very careful in wanting our politicians to sign off things that we don't even know what they're doing in our needs. Right? So I just thought it was an interesting article, and I thought I would share that with you. Thank you so much for joining again, and I look forward to seeing you in another chat. Now remember to please subscribe, right? And by the way, let me see if I can show you how to subscribe. There are people who say to me, oh, I don't know how to subscribe. So I think that I should not end this video here without showing you how to subscribe. Well, does it, yeah, if we go to the YouTube channel here, I am not, yeah, I'm not on my, yeah, I'm not on the, yeah, let me see, initial. Okay, generally speaking, let me see if I can share my screen with you. Yeah, let me see if I could share my screen. Let me pull up this and see if I could share my screen with you. Okay, so let me hit on this here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. So let me just share somebody else's channel and to show you how to subscribe. So let me share my screen here. So this is important. Some of you are saying that I don't think it's a hard thing to do, but since you see, since you think, or some of you think it's hard, let me share this information with you. So here we have Dr. John Campbell, a respected nurse. He has his PhD in nursing. And this is his channel. Now, if I wanted to subscribe, all I just hit here, and I have subscribe, right? So he has one of his videos here. Let me see if I can show you one of his videos. Let me make this come out of this, and I am going to see here, yeah, his video. So his video has come up, right? And it would have the yeah, sorry about that. Hope you didn't hear it. But yeah, here you see below the video, you have subscribe, right? It's right there in your face. So you have subscribe. Now, what you do also, so that the algorithms will be able to spread the video, is that you need to also like the video. So you click on this button, right? This is for the thumbs up, is for that you is suggesting is that you like the video, right? So you click that. If you don't like it, then it's a thumbs down, right? So that's what you need to do. So this is the subscription button that you subscribe, right? And then this would be the like video. And then underneath here, you have the comments. You can comment on the video. So I could say, for example, great video, Dr. Campbell, etc., etc., etc. I enjoyed your presentation thoroughly, or something of the sort, so that the video can be shared to or with other people around the world. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. It was a great pleasure again being with you, and we will talk again. Have a great Sunday evening. Bye.